Okay, so here we saw online a really neat thing by Henry Segerman.
Yeah.
And he makes these interesting little shapes out of spheres, right?
Yeah.
And you can see this is a sphere kind of with its top missing, right? And it has a little base so it can stand up. But what do you notice about these shapes on the sphere?
They're not quite squares.
They're not quite squares, and they get smaller and smaller
as you go up.
as you go up. In fact, there's one over here that's really small, right?
Yeah. And there's 4 of them.
But what he showed us in a neat video is if you take a light source, and we're going to use a phone, and you shine it right in the exact right spot, this whole thing unfolds into... Oh, I gotta zoom the camera out, sorry about that. This whole thing unfolds into some shadows that are squares.
Wow.
That's pretty neat, right?
Yeah.
And you have to be in exactly the right spot for that to happen. If you're over here, you get a weird shape. Over here, you get kind of a strange shape.
Right there.
But there, you get a really interesting shape.
Yeah.
These odd, kind of curvy squares unfold into squares.
Yeah.
And this is all part of a really important subject in math called geometry.
I don't really studied that.
Well, you and I haven't studied geometry yet, but we soon we will. And you learn about really fun things like this, about making projections. And it's really important to be able to make accurate maps, right? Because if you're going somewhere, you don't want a map that distorts everything, right?
Yeah, you don't want to.
You don't want that, otherwise you'll end up walking right into a lake or something. Or you'll think it's a tiny lake and it's a really huge lake, or the other way around.
Wow.
So this is a really cool application of math, and this guy, Henry Segerman, found an awesome way to illustrate it.
Yeah.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
All right, high five, sweet.